My name is Mwisha. I'm a model, a brand owner by the name Saya Africa, and I'm the founder of Wale Wale Kenya, an organization based in Jamhuri, Kenya, set up to support the young youths from Kibra to help them with their education and, most importantly, their curricular activities like dancing, singing, and games, because who doesn't play games? The things that inspired me are many. One, I'd say growing up. I was raised by a single mom, so growing up was very tough for us. And I grew up telling myself that I want to be the woman, I want to be the girl I needed when I was very young. And that is something that I held on to up to today. I want to be someone that I needed when I was so young, because I needed someone to support me, I needed someone to be there for me, I needed an example that I can follow. And that is something that I am doing right now, because I want when young girls, I want when other girls my age look at my story and where I came from to where I am right now, to be inspired and to know that you don't have to come from a rich background, you don't have to come from a complete family for you to make something good out of yourself. You can be excellent, you can be amazing, and you can be very powerful on your own, regardless of where you come from. That is my inspiration.
As you can see, the place is too squeezed. Imagine we are about 20 members now, but overall we are more than 40 members. What if everyone was here? Please donate that 1 square, that 3 squares, those 10 squares. Donate, you'll be helping someone somewhere. And remember, the Future Center will not only be helpful to us, but to even the people outside this center, the Kibra slum. Everyone will be accommodated. It will be welcoming to everyone. Please share a square.
My childhood, wow. So I grew up in a family of 3. That is my mom, my brother, and me, until 3 years back when my mom decided to add another one to our family. We had not really planned for that one, but hey. So now we are 3. I'm the only girl, I'm the firstborn, and my 2 younger brothers. So my childhood, to say the truth, was really tough, because I remember growing up, I grew up with a single parent. To date, I only found out about my father a year ago. That's when I knew who he was. So I was brought up by my mom. And growing up was not easy, because one, she was not working. She was a single mama and she was not working. So I had to get a job and I had to start hustling when I was really young. And I think that's where I get most of my encouragement from. And most people call me an old soul, because I think I started doing and engaging myself in like work and exploring the world at such a tender age. So yeah, we grew up like that. But today, looking back, as much as it was a tough childhood and growing up with a single mom without having the idea of having a complete family and all, I cannot exchange it for anything. Because with that woman, I learned a lot. I learned to be strong, I learned to be ambitious, and I learned to explore the world, because she gave me that platform. She told me, you do anything you want. Me, I'm here, I'll support you. When we didn't have food, I learned to go outside there and try and look for something. Okay, mom doesn't have, what can I do as happiness? And this led me into joining other things. This is how I joined an organization, and this is how I came to forming my own organization called Wale Wale Kenya. So through the struggles that I had, it became a big part of my life, because that's what pushed me to be who I am today. Apart from Wale Wale Kenya, which is a youth organization that I love so much, I'm also a model. I was also crowned Miss Kibra, something that I'm very proud of to date. Because when they were auditioning for people to go and audition to be Miss Kibra, I didn't want to go, because look at me, I'm barely 5 feet, I'm very, very, very short. But one of my friends was really interested. So she told me, take me for the audition, and we can do it, but I just need your support. When we got there, she was too scared, so she told me, I will not audition until you audition with me. So I did. I got into modeling. They taught us. I had never modeled before. They taught us. They gave us the basic of modeling and everything. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with fashion. I fell in love with like walking on the runway, like the catwalks and everything. I fell in love with all of that. And since I was at a disadvantage, I was not tall enough, I was not maybe the right body size, I knew I needed a PowerPoint. And I knew where I'm gonna steal this show was gonna be on my speech, because it doesn't matter if you're pretty or tall or anything, if you're intelligent, you can score the goals. So I decided that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a killer speech. These people are not gonna forget me because of my speech. And when the day of the competition came, I wrote a really beautiful speech. I was talking about the power of the tongue. Everyone was talking about how they want to help the youth, how they want to do this for the community. And I went there and I was like, I don't have the funds. I don't have any donors at the moment. I don't have anything backing me up. I can't stand and say, I will give the girls sanitary pads. I can't stand and say, I will do this and this and this. I don't have the means yet. But what I can do is, I can tell people about the power of the tongue. What you say with your own mouth, what you make yourself believe, and what you say to yourself every day, that is who you're gonna be. And that's what I preach to the people. And with that speech, I was crowned, something I'm very proud of to date. Apart from being Miss Kibra, I'm also a proud brand owner of Saya Africa, which is a clothing line, like the beautiful dress that I'm wearing. So this dress is called a kaftan dress, and we make them. I am the creative designer, so I come up with the designs, and with the help of a few people, we make the dresses and we sell them. The idea came from my love for design and looking good, and through that I realized that there are so many limitations when it comes to looking good. Most people, when they are buying the dresses from me, they ask me, can the dress fit this size? I am too small or I am too big. So with my brand, I decided to make it a free size brand, whereby if you are as tiny as me, you can still look good in it. If you are maybe twice my size or thrice my size, you can still look good in it. And this is why so many people love me and so many people come to Saya Africa. So yeah, those are the three main things that I'm currently doing. Growing up with a single mom, or growing up in a not so civilized place, I had so many challenges. And I remember one of them was, one, the environment, security, especially for a young girl child. This was one of the challenges I had because, one, I was a very active young girl, and where we grew up, we were not allowed to like play outside. You were not allowed to like be outside to a certain time. So we had to like bear with this, and this was one of the challenges. The other challenge is, after I finished my Form 4, I was already exposed to the world. I was already looking for a job because, as I said earlier, I grew up with a single mom, so I had to make ends meet, basically. And one of the biggest challenges that made me actually start my brand, Saya Africa, was the struggle of looking for a job in Kenya. I had so many interviews where I went and the person asks you for your CV, they go through your CV, you go through the interview, everything is good, and then they ask you out for coffee. For them to actually say, yes, you can take the job. So the most answer I used to get was, can I buy you coffee so I can give you the job offer then? And of course, you know, when someone wants to buy you coffee, it means something else and stuff. So I went for so many job interviews, and this was the outcome. You walk into an interview, and instead of an interviewer looking at you as a young girl who's trying to pursue her dreams and actually be someone in this world, they look at you as someone they can take advantage of. So one day I sat down, I was like, I'm tired of going for interviews. I'm tired of trying to look for a job and I don't have any connections that can make me maybe have the higher chance. So what can I do with that? I knew I had a passion for design. I knew I had passion for modeling. I knew I had a passion for helping other girls. Wale Wale Kenya was formed for the young girls, because I told them, with or without, education is key in life, but sometimes you need a plan B. What if the education doesn't help you? And with the way the world is going today, we all need a plan B. And these young kids at Wale, we help them with their homework, we help them with their studies, we help pay for them school fees. But apart from that, we also help them with their hobbies. Do they like dancing? Do they like singing? Do they like drawing? We help them that, because if this fails, then you can fall back at this. With Saya Africa, my love for passion, my love for modeling, because I model my own brand. I knew at the end of the day, I'm inspiring people and I'm doing all these things, but I also need to make money. So I had to do something that actually brings money to my pocket and makes me have a good life. So I developed the brand Saya Africa and developed beautiful kaftan dresses that I'm selling, that they are now making me who I am today. So with all my challenges that I faced, they helped me look back, sit down, realize that, okay, this is the challenge that I'm facing right now. What can I do about it? What can I do about it? I had a challenge growing up. I didn't have anyone to look forward to. I started an organization. I didn't have any money. We didn't have food most of the nights at home. I started a brand that makes sure that at the end of the day, it's bringing me money so that I can have, or my kids can have, a better future than what I had earlier on. So yeah. So the most memorable things in my life up to now, I'm not that old. Most people say I'm an old soul, but up to date, one of the things that I can never forget was when I started Wale Wale Kenya. And then while starting Wale Wale Kenya and marketing it and reaching out to people, asking for support to help these young girls, to help me as a young girl and the other people that I collaborated with, we got a partnership with a Swedish company. And for the first time in my life, I got to travel to go to Sweden. And since I'm a dancer, I love dancing and I love choreographing and I love teaching people how to dance. I got the partnership to a Swedish school where we went and spent 2 weeks in Sweden to teach the kids how to dance. This was the highlight of my life. I could not believe it. First time on the plane, first time going to a different country, first time touching snow and seeing snow. This was amazing. The other highlight was, of course, being crowned Miss Kibra. I remember I cried because, remember, this is something that I had not planned for. This is something that I've never modeled in my own life. Maybe when I'm walking through the pavements on the road, then now you try. This was the first time I'm wearing heels, so that was also something really amazing. And when it comes to my brand, Saya Africa, I remember my first talk. I sold everything within 1 single day, and I could not believe it. We had to literally reschedule everything because I was like, in my head, I was like, maybe I'll give it 2 weeks, 3 weeks for me to be able to sell everything. But with the first talk, this is a new brand, this is something new to the market, this is something that I'm not even sure how people are gonna react to it. But within a day, I was sold out. Everything was gone. So everything just worked out. Everything just worked out. And these 3 things I'd say up to date are my biggest highlights. And I know I'm gonna have bigger ones, but these ones are the humble ones that you always hold on to. So yeah. Most of the impact that I've created to other people, other girls, other small beings, it's not even girls only, even small young boys from the slum area, is mostly with my organization, whereby I am a good example to them. Most of them, sometimes even when they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? They want to be like Happiness. This shows me that they look at me as someone who inspires them, because I was once them. I was once in the same situation that they are right now, and I made it through. The other thing is my fellow schoolmates, the girls that I went to school with. In particular, I can give an example of this one girl. She got pregnant when we were still in Form 4 then. And by the time her parents had given her like an ultimatum, if I can call it that either you remove the kid or we are not gonna be your parents anymore. And she decided to keep it because one, she was scared, and then the procedure was not even that clear, so she decided to keep the child. And God ways are many. By the time she was going to give birth, there were actually 2 kids. This was a blow. This was something that we had not expected. Remember, first the pregnancy was not planned, and then now it's twins. But we held her hand. Every day she went through a lot. She went through depression. She went through, like, you know, you are young, you are now a mother of not just 1, but 2. But I remember I held her hand. I remember I walked with her through the whole process. It was tough. I was also trying to find myself. She was also trying to find herself at the same time. And right now, if you look at her, she keeps telling me every day that happiness, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I would have been. Because for me, it gets to a point where I'm like, you are in a corner. Nothing is working out. Nothing is going your way. Nothing is, like, you don't have anywhere to turn to. So you turn to yourself and you ask yourself, what's next? What can I do now? And she started by looking for jobs. I introduced her to the organization. She was getting help from there. She looked for a job. She found a job. She found a house. And now with her 2 kids, she's happy, she's okay, she has a permanent job, and they're doing just fine. So every day I talk to her, we exchange words and stuff like that. So with my friends, that's what we do. Basically, they look at me, they're like, hey, you happiness, you've made it. But I'm like, no, I've not made it. I'm just not refusing to quit. And that's where it's at. If you are at a corner and you don't have a plan B, then you look within yourself. You look within yourself and you decide, what is it that I have that can actually be impactful and can actually help me in the long run. And this is what I normally tell them. So with my small group of friends, basically what we do is we advise each other. We share opportunities when we come along them, and we just be there, because on the other hand, sometimes all you need is just a friend to tell you it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be fine, and these challenges never last. You just have them now, later on you'll be looking back and laughing and being like, I can't believe I was there in that time, and actually this was stressing me. So it will pass. So basically that's how we do it, and mostly it's with the organization. The organization there, that's where the kids get like the advices, the support and everything. And it doesn't have to be a kid. We accept everyone up to the age of 18. So anyone can come, and if you want to mentor also, if you want to participate in any of the organizations, even if you are 32, even if you are 35, you can come and be a teacher to the kids. You can come and do anything you like. So basically that's how I try to reach out, and that's how I try to create an impact to the younger generation. So as I wrap up, for me, one thing I'll just like to tell my the other fellow young people is, one, the road is never a straight line. So if you start that one step, make sure you make it to the finish line. No matter what obstacles you meet at the end, just know that there's always gonna be a brighter side to it. You're always gonna be it. One, be obedient, be respectful, and be ambitious. These 3 things will make you go far. Because it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter who your mother is, it doesn't matter who your father is. If you decide to be great today, you will be great today. What matters is who you are. And if you decide to do something today, make sure you are the best at it. It doesn't matter what they say about you, it doesn't matter who supports you, it doesn't matter who holds your hand. Just make sure at the end of the day, when they hear the word happiness, when they hear your word outside there, they'll remember this girl because she did this and this and this. Mothers, fathers, boyfriends, girlfriends, everyone, aunties, everyone outside there, support your young ones. Because at the end of the day, me looking back, this is what I needed. I needed someone to tell me, Mwisha, you can do it. I needed someone to tell me, that is an amazing idea, keep at it. But this is something that I never got most of the time. So support these young kids, support these young girls, because you know what? Starting something is the hardest bit. But once you start, once you take that first step, you are limitless. The sky is not the limit, the sky is my lower limit. It should be for you too.